Hey everyone, this is Double Down Dice. I'm Chris.
I'm Jay.
I'm really sweaty because this is a hot country.
In Symphony No. 9, you are a group of music connoisseurs who are kind of speculating on composition, which will score you points at the end, and you also are kind of working together to put on a concert by blind bidding. And that is the way you can generate revenue and purchase potentially more compositions.
Yep.
All right.
I did this because you're less of an aficionado and more of a junkie because you're selling furniture. Anyway, going straight into this. This game has two veils, and what I mean by veil is a failed expectation. That's not necessarily a negative of a game. Like you go in with expectation A, and then you get B instead.
And you might like B.
And you might really like B, like Donnie Darko. I got something different, and I really loved the movie. Going back to Symphony No. 9. The veil is that when I first saw this game, I was really interested in the symphonic orchestra and the composer theme. Like that really intrigued me because I play the viola and I play the violin.
You play the viola and the violin?
Yeah. Not very well anymore, but I do.
Yep, I'm writing you into my opera.
But I was intrigued first by this game, by the theme. And so, but it's not really a game about that. It's more of a stock game. And so, people who came into this game for the theme, I would caution and say, you need to play it before you buy it because it may not be for you. It is a stock game. It's a commodity
Speculation.
commodity speculation and stock holding game, first and foremost. The problem that I have with a lot of those games is there can be like runaway leader effects with those games where it's hard for people to catch up. Chris disagrees with me. That's just how I feel. The good thing, though, about this game is that it is shorter. Like, if everyone knows what they're doing, if it's their second time playing, you can knock this game out in easily under an hour if you don't talk too much or suffer from AP. So that is something for it. So if you and your loved one or you and your significant other are both like hardcore gamers and want to play a game, like, and you both love like stock games, like this, I would highly recommend this game because of that. Because there aren't that many really heavy stock games for low player counts in a short time.
Right. Cool. So first and foremost, it is a stock game, so I enjoyed it. Now the thing is in terms of player count, I prefer it at 2. And then after 2, I prefer it at 4, and then finally 3. I think that with 3, there's this issue of pricing one person out almost every round where they might not get any compositions. However, that isn't a problem in 2, because in 2, you have an AI, a bot, and when you're doing the whole speculation, you can take, you must always take 2, and then what you can do, or must do, is give 2 to the AI. So that's a way of pricing other players out in the 2-player game. So it's one of the few games that's stock related that works well with 2. And that's one of the reasons why I like it.
I would go 4 to 3.
Yeah, you 2. So other thing is that I think that there is a loan issue. You have furniture, and furniture is worth victory points at the end of the game, but you can use furniture to cash in for coins or even use it in a bid. For the concert, and when you do that, you don't get change back when you bid with it. But I would have preferred a loan system where you leverage your victory points at the end for money now, because sometimes you get cash tight, and that comes to the concerts. So when we go into a concert, you're bidding, right? And more often than not, some people are going to be skinflints about it, and there will be a low bid, and either no concert will occur, so nobody gets paid, or there will be the lowest level concert that will be performed, and you may not get paid. So
yes.
You'll become cash poor pretty quickly if you're not wise with how you're spending your money.
Runaway leader.
Yes. I disagree, because
No,
I thought all of you were leading, and I ended up winning.
But I wasn't.
There's 2 other things that I'll be brief about. You can kill the composers, and you'll get bonus points at the end of the game for any killed composers, and there's a multiplier based upon how many compositions of theirs you have. And I haven't seen that be a viable strategy, really, to like murder a composer so that you have.
Because even at maximum player counts, theoretically you take more cubes away and more composers die. You still only end up with 1, perhaps 2 composers dead. So
yeah. And then my final point is that the concert. I think that the concert that you put on, it's too hard to predict what other people might invest, and it causes you to maybe pull back a little bit or overbid initially, and then if you overbid, you kind of hamstring yourself. Whereas like these guys underbid and I didn't bid, and it caused me to have like a minor issue. But the point being is that
I lost. Why am I high-fiving you?
But the point is that if you bid in that and you don't get paid out, it can hurt you. But,
Yeah, you could get into a hole, and it's really hard to dig yourself out. It's really hard to dig yourself out.
Yes, so to extend the point about the market and what Jay said, the market I think is problematic, and the market is important. The aim of the game is to collect tiles, so the market isn't the aim of the game. However, you can't collect tiles if you don't have money. So you do need, the market needs to work, and the market just doesn't trigger. It always comes down, like you said, most people withhold money, and also if you overbid, you're not going to get that much money back. So people usually hold back, which means that only the bottom ranks trigger. So you never get very much money. The lowest tier goes off. If you're lucky, the second tier goes off. Don't even worry about the first, because it's not the final.
Well, and that's the thing, is that with different player counts and different kinds of players and different player groups, these wild swings might come out very, very differently. But
I felt the same problem with the 4-player game, because and if you do end up spending, like, all I wanted to get to is 7, so I end up spending a whole pile of money and I get nothing back and I'm stiffed. If you run out of money, game over.
Now, see, that's one thing that I do like about the 2-player mode, is that it kind of adjusts that, because there's 3 tiles that the AI uses for bidding, and there's the low, medium, and high tier. But depending on which one he has the most cubes in, is the one he's going to bid in. And if there's 2 that are tied, he's going to bid on the cheaper one, so the lowest tier. So the thing is that you can kind of manipulate that player by giving him more of something that you want to cash in on. So I think that it works a lot better in that you both can kind of try to manipulate the market to benefit yourselves, or kind of come to a mutual spot where you can both get paid out in the concert.
Yeah, it's odd that it's odd that the 2-player game variant is more interactive between the 2 players than the 3-player game is.
Yeah, I would say for me, it is a 2-player game and that's it. Because of this problem with the bidding, I'm not interested in, and also there's a little bit of AP as well.
During the speculation.
It's 2-player and that's it, because if you can't take the right cubes, if you can't win something in a 3 or 4-player game, like, that's it, you just have to sit it out. But in the 2-player game, you can go, okay, I can't win yellow, but I'm going to shift it over here so that he doesn't. So I can interact, I can affect the state of the gameplay, as well as I get more money, because the AI injects more money in, which therefore increases the market, which means there's more money in the game.
I disagree. I like the 4-player game because I think it opens it up more, and there are more swings. And you can get those top tier concerts more often in the 4-player game because there's more people, more money being spent, and you tend to be less poor. And this leads to what I was going to say about the second veil of the game, the big different expectation. This game is basically 4 things. It's money, cubes, tiles, concerts. You use the money to buy cubes. Depending on the cubes you get the tiles. And the tiles is how you win the game. And then depending on the cubes you get, the concert's going to pay out differently. And the concert is how you get your money.
The cubes are multipliers of the winning composer.
Now, it's very easy the way the game is designed, to think, oh, it's all about the concerts, and it's not. It's all about the tiles. So what happens is that you would rather spend your money on getting more tiles than you would on the concerts.
But if you overspend to get tiles and you don't get paid in concerts, you end up poor.
You're poor. Well, the last game that we played, the 3-player game we played, I was poor through most of it, but I lost only by 3 points because you got one more Schubert composition than I did.
But in that same game, you won more concerts than I did and had more money throughout the whole game than I did.
I think
Oh yeah, no, definitely the concerts, the tile drawing is most important.
Yes.
But you need the money because that's how you buy more cubes.
Right. So, like for me, I think that the concert has an important role in that you need to at least win one, or you're really kind of screwed, or you have to really be stingy with how you spend your money for the commodity speculation. But the thing is even though
But you have to be too stingy. That's my problem.
Well, I only won one concert throughout the 3 that popped off, or 4 that popped off. I only won one, but I was still able to win because I was stingy enough with my money, and you guys passed and didn't buy any more stock, as it were. So, but yeah.
Okay, so I'll finish up on the theme. I'm a big muso. Like I'm a composer. I'm going to write an opera. He's going to play in it. He doesn't know about it yet. So this theme, but the game doesn't have anything to do with composers and compositions and music. That doesn't matter in the sense that the mechanics of the game still work, but it has nothing. The track is supposed to reflect the life career of the composer, but it doesn't. Trust me, it doesn't. I know this stuff. It doesn't.
In terms of like their highs and lows.
Yeah. So it
still has to be mapped out.
Yeah. So the game has to be balanced, and that's. So in a sense, you can go into the game as long as you don't go into it thinking it's about music. It's got nothing to do with music.
Or,
you could change it to virtually anything.
I'm going to disagree slightly. I think that the terms that we decide on that thematically, visually, it's there.
Yes.
Thematically, mechanically, it's not.
Yeah.
Now the theme is celebrated in the game. Like if you look at the back of the composition tiles, you'll see music scores, and those are the final music scores that they wrote and composed.
Yeah,
so it's a nice little Easter egg there. It definitely feels that. I definitely feel like I'm buying and working these composers, presumably maybe sometimes to even death. And I like that. So like I'm selling my furniture to get money. But to sum up, it seems what like everyone here is saying is that if you derive pleasure from a game through mathing and calculating and number crunching, I highly recommend this game for you. Like I think it's really designed for you.
Okay. We've been Double Down Dice. We will still be Double Down Dice.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jay.
And I will still be Ed.
And sweaty.
And sweaty. Very sweaty.
I was going to say that.